And you heard both of, let's see right here. Excuse me. You heard both. That was Conform by Nails, coming off their 2010 album Unsilent Death. And then you also had, let me do this real fast. You also had Interview B by Death Grips, coming off their 2016 EP. What's it called again? Interview, actually, the Interview EP. Both very good. Very good tracks. I decided to do something a bit loud, but I decided I would rather do something. What's the word? Electronical. To start off with something like hardcore, something hardcore, and then transition to hardcore electronic music. That always works out as a good thing, right? I always see it as such, and I personally like it. You know what I'm saying? I personally do. Good afternoon, listeners of Coffee Noise. I'm your host, DJ Marlin, and if you can believe it, it's Tuesday once again. How are we doing, listeners? Today it is the 2nd of April, 2024. Only a few more weeks till the end of this semester, which I'm looking forward to, actually. I'm doing Summer 1 and Summer 2 classes, which it does suck, don't get me wrong, but I'll get like at least 2 weeks off, I think, before the semester starts again. I don't know on timing, really. You know what? I should probably check that out later, how much time I have in between, so I know, like, oh, I'm not gonna be stressed out from here and there. I mean, applying for class is already a bit stressful, so will it do any good? Um, I would. I do not think so, but it wouldn't hurt to think. I don't know really. I would have to really look into that personally. Um, it's one of those things I have to think about constantly. Do I want to think about it? Probably not. Anyway, listeners, let's get a quick look at our weather. Right now in the city of Edinburgh, we're looking at a high of 87 degrees. Currently it's 87, the high is going to be of 88 with a low of 69 degrees, so it's a very nice warm day. I don't know, wear like a nice comfortable sweater or something like that. I'm just wearing a flannel. For me, that's like pretty comfortable. It's not really the heat. I wear the flannel mostly because some of my classes are cold. I mean, in the evening I take a class over there in the education building. It's a nice building, don't get me wrong, but it's a bit cold sometimes. Not the room itself, but like the hallways, especially when you're going from the stairways to the room. It's a bit chilly there. Hmm. Is it uncomfortable? No, it's not, but it's not like, oh, my favorite thing. Maybe I'm just getting a bit too annoyed by the AC now. I don't know. I would hope not, because they recently just fixed the AC at my apartment that my family's been complaining for about like a week, and they finally got around to doing it. So hooray, hooray! It only took like a week to do that. And now I'm complaining like, maybe the AC's a bit too chilly. I would hope that's not the case because, yeah, I'm not gonna be like that kind of person to be like complaining about every single thing. Because I've known a couple of people who've done that. It's like never the best kind of people to be around with, from my personal experiences. Now I don't know if that applies to other people. Um, it probably does actually. More than likely does. Honestly, this kind of just turned out to be like a rambling session. That's I should probably go right into a journal later. That's probably what I'm gonna do later tonight. Anyways, listeners, we're gonna get into the next track right now. We're gonna kick it back to the I believe the early to mid '90s. We're gonna throw into some heavy psychedelic rock. This is Mercury Rev. The track "Chasing a Bee" from their, I believe it's their debut or second album, "Your Self Esteem." This album is probably like one of my favorite albums of all time. This is like one of the few albums I give a 5 out of 5 stars to because I'm very pretentious on giving albums 5 out of 5. As I say a bunch of times, I'm close to 3,000 ratings on Rate Your Music, and only 33 have received a perfect 5 out of 5 from me. So, am I gatekeeping? Probably so. Anyways, this is Chasing a Bee. And I stand corrected. Your Self-Esteem actually came out in 1991. I was thinking about their second album that came out like in the mid 90s. Um, very harsh psychedelic rock noise. If you wanted to, I could see someone definitely putting Your Self-Esteem under the shoegaze genre, but it was more of a British thing and an American thing. Here in the States, it was kind of just labeled as a psychedelic rock. You know, you had the 60s, 70s. Not so much in the 80s. The 80s, I guess, was more of like the glam rock era, which I both have like a love hate relationship with glam rock. I think it should stay in that time. Most modern glam rock bands, y'all don't make any good music. It's time to pack it up. The '80s already passed. It's been like what 40 years or something like that. I don't know. It's a washed up sound. Doesn't sound cool. Doesn't sound yeah. It just doesn't sound cool at all. It sounds pretty boring. It's like, alright, you heard one glam rock band from the 80s, you more than likely heard them all. Am I a hater on that? Uh, yeah. Yeah, I'd say I am. But I have my reasons to be a hater. Actually, I lied. I really don't have a reason. It's more just for funds, for kicks, really. But yeah, that's just one of my things. So yeah, the album came out in '91, recorded within only from 1990 to 1991. So it was a pretty short recorded album. It's around just under an hour in the States. In the UK pressing, it's around 47 minutes. And it was produced by the band themselves. Yeah, Pitchfork actually named it as number 16 on its top 50th shoegaze albums. Yeah, when I first heard Your Self-Esteem, it kind of took me back. Really, it was like, whoa, this is like really loud, noisy. It's abrasive. I mean, just the amount of pedals probably used. They probably I get like really nerdy on sometimes, especially with like bands with their guitar pedals. I would probably bet my entire wealth to my bank account, which isn't much really, so I really don't mind. They probably use the Big Muff pedal with that very loud, fuzzy sound, and maybe what's that pedal called? Line 6 digital delay pedal. I think that's what it's called. It was a pedal a lot of bands use within like, oh gosh, since the 90s, I want to say, even up to today. I personally have that pedal. It's a fun pedal. If you ever get the chance to use it or even purchase it, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Was it costly? Yes, it was, and I'm not going to go into detail on how much it cost me because it makes me cry realizing I spent close to $200 on a guitar pedal from the 90s. But the sound, very luscious, very just, oh man, it's amazing. It's an amazing pedal. I really love it. Anyways, we're going on to the next two tracks. We're going to start off with some Cambodian folk music. This is Wounds of Love. Alright, dude, so we are about to start the second half of the show. Before the break, you heard Merc's Theme by Black Country New Road. That's coming off their 2022 album. Ants from up there. It's probably my favorite album of 2022. It was a very close race between that album and the self-titled Caroline album. Caroline basically just got like, if it was just one track less, it would have been a 10 out of 10. I still might push it to a 10 out of 10, but right now it's currently at a 9 out of 10, but yeah. The first track, I want to talk about that a bit more. That was Wounds of Love by Mao Sareth, if I'm correct. I'm pretty sure I just butchered the name. Forgive me if I have. That's coming off the compilation album Wounds of Love, Khmer Oddities, Volume 1, coming out from the fantastic archival record label Death is not the end. They do like a bunch of compilations of archival recordings from like early 20th century. And they did like a bunch. They did pirate radio station recordings out of New York, outside of like a Hasidic area. 90s rave music compilation scene, and they recently just came out with another compilation. I haven't got around to listening to it. Fatal recordings between, I want to say, like the 40s to like the 60s. They also do like a great show over on NTS. If you haven't used NTS, I don't know what to tell you. It's one of the greatest, best things to ever come to my ears. Death is not the end. They do like a good NTS radio show there. I was listening to like one of their shows. I think it was like from 2022 or maybe even last year. It was a bunch of Middle Eastern songs from like the early 1950s to 60s. Weirdest thing ever, but it was like really comforting. I don't know why. I wasn't even doing anything difficult. I was doing my taxes, and I was like, oh, just put this on. It was like, whoa, this is like it's very has like a really weird futuristic sound to it. I don't know how to describe it. If I'm correct, I think it was Pakistani, also music from Afghanistan. It was, I don't know what to say really. It was something else, but yeah, they what was I gonna say about That's Not the End? I really can't give them much praise. I can't really give them enough praise because they do a lot of compilation archival recordings. The show on NTS Records, and yeah, they also did a compilation. I think it was of early South American jazz, if I'm correct. I would have to check again. I have most of their albums purchased off Bandcamp because I support what they're doing. I think it's amazing. It's a good project, and I just love the music. Really can't give them enough praise for that, but yeah. Am I a fanboy? Yeah, I'm a fanboy of Death Not the End. I'm not gonna deny that. I'm going to affirm it very strongly. Anyway, let's get to the next track. This is Sunshine Recorder by Boards of Canada. That was Ooh I believe that's how you pronounce it, by Hailu Margia, African funk jazz musician. I've heard some people classify that music under the funk jazz category. I'm not so sold on that name. It reminds me. I mean, a lot of the African music time in that time specifically. I mean, you can look at what's that artist's name? Fela Kuti, one of my favorite musicians, has a very similar vibe to it. Obviously, Fela Kuti was more into the rock aspect, while Murgia is more of a jazzy sound. But there is a noticeable connection there, and I'm still trying to listen to more African music. There's that one track I was listening to a lot, maybe like last year. I can't remember it. I remember the music video was like shot like on a really low quality green screen. It was like clipping and that was so bad. But the song was like so catchy. I heard it on like an NTS radio show. Um, I can't remember what. It had like a very that music especially has like a very nostalgic sound to it. And am I wrong? Like, I love the whole indie music category, whole indie music genre here in America, but it gets really lumped into the whole nostalgic feel. No, like listen to some classic heavy funk inspired African music. It gives off very strong nostalgic feels. Well, that's what I get out of it personally. I don't know if the same goes for other people, but for me, that's what I'm getting out of it. Maybe I am just looking too deeply into it. Am I? Uh, I don't know. I would have to think about it actually. Um, yeah, I'm actually gonna probably check into that later today. Later today, what am I doing today? Actually, I have class after this. I have class at 3:30 for my psych course, and then at 7:55, I have my evening class over there. Like I said, in the education building. I'm gonna probably get dinner later tonight. I know they're really bad for me, but I do want a burger. Hmm. You know, I've been trying to eat a lot recently, and I feel like the listeners out there should eat more of Greek yogurt. All right. This is a game changer. I'm gonna put you on game. Um, grab some strawberries, frozen strawberries. Put those in the microwave. All right, you hear me? But before you put them in the microwave, put them in a bowl, microwave safe bowl. Put some sugar-free syrup on that, some cinnamon. Nuke it for like 30 seconds. Get some Greek yogurt. Mash the berries when they're ready, when they're done. Mash them. Toss them into the Greek yogurt. All right. Cut up some bananas. Boom. Easy, high protein breakfast. I'm telling y'all, it is amazing. And also, if you want to, you can cook up on the side some turkey bacon. Perfect breakfast. Or if you just want the yogurt itself, perfect snack in general. It's like, it's amazing. I don't know. Why am I talking about Greek yogurt? Also, it's healthy for you. It's like really good. It has like a bunch of those, what's it called? Probiotics? That's what it's called. That helps you go to the restroom. It makes you feel good. I personally, I guess maybe the texture is a bit off for some people. It has a bit more of a chalky, like, not compared to like regular yogurt. Hmm. Anyways, let's get into experimental noise. This is Love Refrain by Jeffrey Cantu Lesdem. I cannot say the last name. I'm sorry. You know, just play the track. You know, whatever. Marlon. All right, listeners, and you just finished hearing the tracks for today. That's actually gonna finish up today's radio show. I hope you had a lovely time listening, hearing yours truly, DJ Marlon, hosting either your favorite or least favorite show, Coffee Noise, only on Vaquero Radio. Um, as always, this week's playlist will be available on both Apple Music and Spotify. You can follow me on Instagram at Watford2003. And yeah, final ideas I want to go over. Eat Greek yogurt. Do what I say. Heat up some strawberries, mash them up, toss them in some Greek yogurt, add a banana. It's an amazing snack. Amazing snack. All right, I'll see you next week. Goodbye.